yesterday shared with us that story and then said that it was people would run to the caves.
Yeah.
They would hide in the caves to protect themselves from the winds.
So that is what we call, so I'm part Native Hawaiian. So a part of me has been here for 1,000 years. Yeah.
Wow.
And we call ancestral knowledge, we call it Ike Kupuna, the knowledge of our ancestors. Yeah. So the warning of the Kauaula winds is valid, you know. It's a phenomenon that happens about every 100 years. Yeah. And we know about it, although, you know, because our life expectancy isn't 100 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going, most people don't live to 100, centenarians. Yeah. But you know, because our Hawaiian ancestors, we didn't have a written language, so everything was done orally. Yeah. And one of our old traditions was the Kauaula winds. And although Kauaula winds, which is in Lahaina, my Hawaiian family actually hails from the Big Island.
Okay.
Yeah. And because we didn't have a written language, everything, all of our warnings, our knowledge, our interests, you know, even love interests, all came orally.
Yeah.
Yeah. How to treat people, how to work hard, how to be kind, how to spread the aloha spirit. Yeah. So I'll give you an example. So that Kauaula winds comes every 100 years, and we're due for it. Yeah. And the article said that in 1850, it destroyed one of the churches that were built by the initial missionaries that came over.
Right.
Destroyed the church completely. Yeah. Yeah. So we know it comes. We don't need some Western person to come and verify or quantify that for us. We know it happens. Because our kupuna are keen observers of nature. And whatever danger is going to happen to us, they're gonna tell their children, their grandchildren, and that information is going to be passed down, down the line, generation after generation. I give you an example. My ohana, my family comes from the Big Island of Hawaii, and I've never experienced a tsunami or a tidal wave. Yeah. I experienced one tidal surge when I was a Battalion Chief in the Maui Fire Department, but not a tidal wave that was catastrophic.
Okay.
But because Papa said that it happens, yeah, it means it happens, yeah. So this was his explanation to us. In our family land over there in Kohala on the Big Island, North Hawaii, we have a beach there called Naui. So he said, if you're ever in Naui, doing whatever you're doing, you know, collecting opihi, gathering, it's a type of lipid.
Right.
If you're catching prawns in the riverbed that's right next to the ocean, or if you're just fishing or diving, if you see the ocean, if you see the coast of Naui recede into Kamoana, which is the ocean, please get out of there quickly.
Yes.
And you know, us as little kids, oh, why? Why? Because the ocean is going to come back and destroy Naui Beach. So although I didn't experience it, I know that type of phenomena happens because Papa told me.
That's right.
Yeah. Papa told me a big wave is going to come and destroy our beach. Yeah. So we call that Ike Kupuna, ancestral knowledge. The Kauaula winds. Kauaula is the valley right above Lahaina. We know that is a phenomena that happens about every 100 years. Yeah. Anything bad that you could think that could promote a destructive wildland fire happened at that time in Lahaina.
Yeah.
So we had low humidity, high temperatures, and 80-mile-an-hour winds.
Yes.
Yeah, we cannot fight fires in 80-mile-an-hour winds. It's impossible.
Yes.
Yeah. You could put 1,000 firefighters there and you probably have the same result. Yeah. I'd like to encourage all of the partners in Hawaii, the government, the landowners, the stakeholders, and the community to go forward with more brush abatement programs. Yeah, initiate those, maintain those over the long haul. Yeah, and to prevent our communities from being vulnerable to catastrophic fires.
Yes.
Yeah. So the way we learn it in the fire department, yeah. So you have the community here. Yeah. So like the Paradise fire is very similar to
Right.
yeah, very destructive. Yeah. So where you have the surrounding community, populated community, and you have the forest or pasture land. Yeah. That's called the interface.
Yes.
Yeah. At the interface, we encourage cutting of fire breaks with bulldozers. Yeah. So instead of this, now you have this. So when you cut the fire breaks, yeah. So instead of this, you have this.
Right.
Yeah. At this juncture, you have a small buffer. To extend the buffer, you can do fire breaks, prescribed burnings safely, effectively. So instead of this fire breaks, you do prescribed burnings. Now you widen that buffer even more.
Sure.
So now you have this, and on this side, yeah, south of this, yeah, just using the Lahaina Luna Road as a land point, yeah, you put in grazing animals, cattle, goats, to keep the ladder fuse down, because short grass, no bushes, no trees, they're really no danger to us. They can burn, but they're going to be small enough that when we respond, we can put it out quickly. Right. We can extinguish it quickly. You know, all of the odds have to be in our favor when we fight wildland fires. I use the soccer analogy. How many players are on a soccer team when they're on the field?
I don't know.
Okay, they have 11 players on a soccer team. My kids played soccer. So, if I have the ball, yeah, if I have the ball and I want to score,
yeah,
I want to score on you, and you're the goalkeeper, I gotta get through 10 defensive layers,
right,
before I get to you. And when it's you and me, one-on-one, it's 50-50. We don't like that kind of odds when we fight in fire. We want all the odds in our favor. Yeah. When wildland or brush fires start, yeah, we want it small. We don't want any fuels around, so that we can get there quickly, put out the fire quickly. You know, that's ideal for us. This Lahaina fire, everybody wants to put blame on everybody.
Yeah.
We just need to work together so that this doesn't happen again.
Yes.
Yeah, this doesn't happen again. There are other vulnerable areas on Maui. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't understand the topography, the geography of the island until we got here, and we spent time driving around. Where we are sitting today with this beautiful backdrop behind us, it really paints a picture, and it makes sense to me now even more so. But driving down that coastal side by Lahaina, it is dry, it is barren, it has plenty of high grass, that the fuel load there is plentiful.
Yeah.
Looking here now from the higher vantage point that we are, understanding it's the leeward side of the island, so it's typically drier than the other side.
Yeah.
The fuel, the winds, it's a recipe for exactly what happened.
Catastrophe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you can see, we're still in the midst of a drought. So you can see our lands, they're all dry.
Yes.
You can see this. That ridge right there, supposed to be green.
Yeah.
All the way down. And you can see the remnants of the Pulehu fire there.
That's what
that black area.
Yeah.
You can see that. You can see. So everybody was at the Lahaina fire and the Kula fire,
which was up this way.
Yeah.
Correct, up country.
We hardly had anybody here because there were no resources available.
Yeah.
Yeah. They eventually put 2 engine companies there, and they stopped the fire before it reached the South Maui town of Kihei. Yeah, they did a great job with 2 engines.
Limited resources.
With 2 engines, very limited as far as manpower. and they stop the fire, we do what we have to do.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
That's what we do in our job.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that is the one thing that, from a firefighter's perspective, you only have so many resources on an island.
Yeah.
And so we spent some time at station up at Engine 11, and we walked around their apparatus.
Sure.
Like any firefighters, we love to see how each other work, and we talk shop. And,
Yeah.
And we want to learn about one another. And what's incredible for them is to talk about going from a mountain rescue to a water rescue to structural firefighting to vegetation fires and everything in between.
Yeah, to a vehicle accident.
Right.
Yeah.
And then their next in companies are 2 cylinders away.
Exactly.
It's and as I put it, on a structural side, punch it in the face.
Yeah.
You have to get super aggressive right off the bat.
With a lot of resources. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit it hard and hit it quick.
That's right.
Yeah.
And efficiently, effectively.
Yeah.
And that is where training is one thing, experience from gentlemen that have been doing this and women that have been doing this job for so long. For yourself, there's this unbelievable sense about you. Your knowledge of firefighting just in the last few minutes alone, talking about land preservation, prevention, talking about the operations of the department. And then there's that whole community and cultural side about you.
Yeah.
I love it. It's a beautiful symphony, because I always believe that the fire department is at the soul of your town, your municipality, it's Main Street, USA.
Exactly.
A firehouse.
Yeah. And culturally, Hawaiians, that's what we do.
Yes.
Yeah. We take care of each other.
Yes.
So if you're a local person, you might be Hawaiian, you might ethnically a Hawaiian or not. If you're in Hawaii, you're Hawaiian.
Right.
Yeah. You learn a lot of our culture and a lot of our traditions, which is to help our people, help your neighbor.
That's right.
Help your community.
That's right.
Help the elders. Yeah. That's what we do in Hawaii. And during and after the Lahaina fire, I experienced a level of love and kindness for our community that was unprecedented.
Yeah.
Yeah. I expected it. I knew it would happen, but not to that extent. People were giving the shirts off their back, their last dollar in their pocket, just so people who were displaced, they could have something. Yeah, it was so beautiful to see. Tragic and beautiful to see, if that makes any sense.
It does.
It
does.
But we've been doing this in our islands for 1,000 years.
That's right.
We take care of each other. We care for each other. And we share the Aloha spirit. Yeah.
That is something for me that before we got here, I didn't have any inkling or understanding about the Hawaiian culture. As beautiful as the island is, the people are even more so. The spirit. And I mean that in the most affectionate way possible. The people I've spoken with, firefighters who put their hands in their faith in God to guide them to make decisions. Yesterday we're talking with an engine company that thought they potentially were going to die.
Yeah.
I mean, it's moments like that where you believe and double down on your faith, on your beliefs, on the people around you. It's powerful.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Right. We as Hawaiians, we always believed in a higher power.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you are worthy, He will protect you. He will guide you. He will show you what you need to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even in the light of tragedy that transpired here, that went down, that belief is alive and well.
Yes.
But I have to say, I'm talking with Chief Amos, I said, there are times where people's faith is certainly challenged, where you have to reflect within to figure out why, or ask why. And then you have to seek guidance and answers when they come. It takes a level of belief,
Yeah.
empathy, compassion, understanding. And that's hard at times when you're challenged like many were.
We have a word in Hawaiian. It's called ha'aha'a. Ha'aha'a. It's almost a catch-all phrase for humility, patience, and kindness. If you lead with humility, patience, and kindness, your end result will be very positive. That's what we believe. No. So we have to ha'aha'a.
You talked about when you were young, and if the water receded off the coast to run for high ground.
Yes.
And you were told that because of your ancestral knowledge.
Yeah. We call that ike kupuna.
Okay.
So I'll give you my experience.
Please.
Yeah. So my Hawaiian side, we hail from the big island of Hawaii in North Hawaii, called a place called Kohala. More specifically, the Ahupua'a of Niuli'i. Yeah. So we have my family is a Sniffen, Moku, and Pukawa family from the Big Island. And I've never experienced a tidal wave before. We call it a tsunami. It's a Japanese word, yeah. So, but ancestral knowledge, ike kupuna.
Right.
Papa would gather us around the table, and the Polynesian race, and more specifically the Hawaiian race, we didn't have a written language. So everything was done, all the information was done to your parents, through your parents or the grandchildren, orally. So they would speak to us every night about, activities, events around the world, but also about nature and what nature can do. Yeah. It can be bountiful. You can go hunting, fishing, get the food you need and nourishment you need to eat. But nature can also be destructive.
Yes, it can.
Yeah. And this was Papa's talk to us about tidal waves. Yeah. So he said, he told us, if you're ever down in Maui at the beach on our property, fishing, we call it pounding opihi, collecting lipids off the rocks, catching prawns in the riverbed. And if you ever see this happening, if you ever see the river or the coastline recede into Kamoana, which is the ocean, turn around, head for high ground very quickly.
Yes.
And, we as little kids, why? Why, Papa? Because the ocean is going to come back and destroy Maui Beach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're there, you are going to get hurt. So I don't want you to get hurt. So when you see Maui recede into Kamoana, get out of there.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question to that then is, as generations progress, I wonder how challenged the conversation is within the generations today. You sat down as a young one to listen to those stories, that ancestral knowledge.
Uh-huh.
Is that becoming more challenging today with the youth of the Hawaiian culture today? And I'm not putting you on the spot with that, but it's more so, I know how we are throughout society.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if the same type of struggles are occurring here, because so much of your knowledge and history is oral, like you said.
Yeah.
It's told from one generation to the next. And so I have to think that it's becoming maybe a little more difficult.
It is.
Today.
It is. But, in the way we practice our culture, our oral language, teaching our children, our keiki, about our culture, about being Hawaiian, it is challenging because we're part of America.
Sure.
100 years ago, they banned the Hawaiian language from schools. My grandfather got disciplined in school for speaking Hawaiian because it was outlawed.
Right.
Yeah. So if you take away the language, you actually take away the culture. Yeah. But there were a lot of families who still kept it, kept the culture, kept the language.
Yes.
Yeah. And from like the late 1960s to 1970s, there was a resurgence of Hawaiian culture.
Yeah.
Bringing back all of the knowledge that we had, because at about that time, from what I was told, there was less than 2,000 native speakers in our islands.
Wow.
So they started up language programs through the university system, and they also started up a immersion program, language and culture, starting at 3 years old, a Punanaleo program, where kids are immersed into the Hawaiian language from 3 years old until the time they graduate from high school at age 18. So now we have over 20,000 native speakers. More than that, our culture is back. Even if you don't speak the language, or we use some terms in our daily language. Aloha, kakaiaka, good morning, mahalo, thank you, and other words as well.
Sure.
But even if you don't speak the language fluently, you know and you understand the culture because it's been practiced every day.
Yep.
Yeah. And we need to continue that. We cannot lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wonder then, patience, I think is very important, and from what I'm hearing throughout my travels here, patience and a willingness to be open and understanding. It's hard in the face of such tragedy, though.
It is.
And so I can see where the importance of the cultural leaders come into the equation to ensure that there's that sense of community, pride, and structure that is so important to you.
Yes.
Remains.
Oh, most definitely. The leaders in our Hawaiian community need to reinforce that.
Yeah.
Take care of the people, whether you're Hawaiian or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're in Hawaii, you're Hawaiian. We'll take care of you. That's what we do. Yeah.
You're a guest today, your family tomorrow.
That exactly.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's what we like. It's so easy to make friends.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to be a stinker. It takes work.
It does.
To be a bad person, it takes work. You got to put work in. It's so easy to be kind and nice.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the Hawaiian way.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what we do. We practice that every day. And I'm so happy. I put in 27 years with the Maui Fire Department, and that type of job is so in line with the Hawaiian culture.
It is.
Where we help our community.
That's what I've been saying.
We help people. We care for them. We empathize, and we just love them. Yeah.
Do you think, I'm thinking about our conversation before about the prevention side and looking back at the fire and things that could have been done to maybe mitigate or lessen the damage that may have occurred that day, right? The significance of it. Now, obviously, the winds that you spoke so eloquently about, that was part of the equation that could not be controlled.
Sure.
Fuel loads can be, construction, variances, ordinances, things about building codes, things like that, right? Those are things that are in control. Part of your Hawaiian culture is taking care of one another, and a lot of that has to mingle with bureaucracy, politics.
Yes.
And so part of going forward, though, and I'd love your thoughts on this, is to look at such destruction and devastation that has happened here, coming back from that.
Yeah.
There has to be a balance, because if you're tasked with taking care of your community, that's part of providing safety to them. And that safety means land management.
Yes.
Right? Laws, guidelines, operational values that need to take place so that you can provide protection for your community.
Correct. You're totally correct.
So how do you get there with that? Because that's the balance with the bureaucracy and the red tape that occurs.
Yeah. I think getting back to our values and our morals.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this about the Hawaiian culture.
Please.
Yeah. I learned this from my grandparents. When you do something and you practice it and you learn it, there's no mistakes. Yeah. If you do something incorrectly to a Hawaiian or a Polynesian, it's not a mistake. It's a learning lesson.
Okay.
Yeah. So in my Western world, trying to navigate both worlds, right?
Sure.
Polynesian, Hawaiian side, and the Western world. I see mistakes as learning lessons. Yeah. And as far as who's to blame, I don't know who's to blame. But I know we have to protect our people.
Yes.
Yeah. Learn from this. Get better. Move forward. You know, it's like a hot wash in the fire department. Okay, we have this incident. What went good? Now, this is overall, you know, government, utility company, fire department, police department, emergency response, civil defense. What went good? What went bad?
Right.
How can we get better? It's kind of like the Hawaiian way too. We don't like to be angry at each other. Yeah, if you make a mistake, it's not a mistake. It's a learning lesson.
Ancestral
That's
knowledge.
what we do. Ancestral knowledge.
You share it and pay it forward. You educate the next generation
exactly.
by what's happened
Yeah.
prior.
Learn about the Kauaula winds and how it comes every 100 years. Yeah. And I just gave you my reference. I've never experienced a tidal wave or a tsunami, but I know it happens because Papa told me so.
Right.
He told me how it happens.
That's right.
I don't even know. Well, I think he experienced one because there was like a tidal wave in 45 and again in 61.
Okay.
Yeah. So he probably experienced. He saw, if he didn't see it himself on the shoreline, he saw the devastation.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. But he explained to us, his grandchildren, what was going to happen to prepare us, warn us, so we can be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's it then. Because Papa told me so, that needs to go up the line
Yeah.
to the highest levels
Yeah.
so that whatever can be done to prevent such tragedy again, they have to know that Papa told them so.
We need to make our communities less vulnerable to catastrophic fires.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to find partnership, work together in doing this. Not put blame.
That's right.
Not put blame. Yeah. Let's move forward. Let's figure it out so we can get better.
The easy part of the conversation is to point fingers and blame and hold
Yeah.
people accountable. But
Sure.
at the end of the day, it doesn't ease any of the pain,
Yeah. It doesn't.
right? And
Yeah.
if anything, it gets in the way of the healing.
It truly does.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're putting blame, you're just getting angry.
that's right.
Yeah. Let's remember what we did. Take the steps necessary to protect our people. Yeah. And move forward.
Yes.
Yeah. You adjust. Like we do in the fire department. Plan A doesn't work. You adjust and you do plan B.
That's right.
Plan B doesn't work. You plan C. Okay, we got it. We got the guy off the cliff.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You adjust as needed. And you do excellent work. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
This is such I enjoy talking with you so much. This is so incredible for me.
Yeah.
And I know it's emotional for you.
It is.
It's emotional for me. Like, as this week has been going on, I want to share with you, like, the conversations that I've been able to have and the people I've met. It is unbelievable the amount of love and passion they have for who they are and what they represent and their land and their neighbor. And it's so different. And yet everybody needs to practice this. This Hawaiian spirit
Yeah.
could cure all the evils of this world. And in my 4 days on the island of Maui,
Yeah.
I firmly believe that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to be trusting, though.
Yeah.
You have to buy in. You have to believe.
You have to believe. You have to be educated, practice it, and then you believe. You believe in what we do here.
Yeah.
Which is be kind. Always help your neighbors. Yeah. Always help your neighbors, and we take care of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. The aloha spirit should spread all over the world. Yeah. We'd probably stop a lot of wars. Probably stop the war in Ukraine. Yeah.
I agree with you.
You know.
I will tell you, this has been, Sebi and I talk a lot as we leave each interview. We drive to the next one. We go meet the next wonderful person that we've had the joy of spending time with. And every time we get back in the truck, we just decompress for 10 minutes. And we look at each other and we go, that was incredible. And we just run through a couple of the things that was discussed or whatever. And you think about that. And I just want to share this. And this is why it's so important for us with our community, the fire service, for us to share your story, your thoughts, your insights, and to really educate the people about the Hawaiian spirit. Yeah. Come on. Are you kidding me?
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We take care of you. We take care of your family. Once we meet you family,
yeah,
in Hawaii, that's just the way it is. Yeah, and the whole Pacific Polynesian races is like that. So, I'll give you an example. I'm a huge fan of Choi Polomalu. He's a defensive back, retired for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
All pro, Hall of Famer. Yeah. When he's on the field of battle, yeah, he works hard. He does excellent work. Yeah. He even hurt a lot of people. But once he steps off the field, he says a prayer. He's kind to his coaches. He's kind to his teammates. He's even kind to his opponents.
Yeah.
He goes there and tells them, thank you. Thank you for playing a hard game against me. Because as an adversary, you made it really hard for me. Yeah.
Humility.
So like, yeah. Humility, humbleness, but excellent at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
And
powerful.
He's a perfect example of
Yeah.
how Polynesians are, and Hawaiians are part of that Polynesian race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a conversation last night with Chief Amos, and we were chatting about a bunch of things, and he shared some things about himself, and he, and he talked about always working hard to win, to be the best he could be, to be challenged, to push himself, and to win. But it's finding a balance in life as well.
Yeah.
While respecting the values from which he comes. And it made for a really, really strong and powerful conversation, one that I'm going to never forget. I mean, it was an emotional, deep conversation. And it's just that. It's the humility to understand. It's the humbleness to share. It's the willingness to give yourself to it.
Yeah.
27 years with the fire department, did you say?
Yeah.
You gave yourself to the fire department, which in turn was giving yourself back to the community that raised you.
Yeah.
That you live within. That had to be a very prideful thing for you.
We give back to the community.
Yeah.
We love it. And, on the I was a firefighter for all those years. But I also coached Little League Baseball for 11 years when I'm off from the fire department.
Right.
Still giving back.
Right.
I work at Kula Elementary School. I found a job after I retired working with special needs kids. During recess, I work with the whole school, the regular students as well, teaching them flag football and basketball. We're doing intramural games at Kula Elementary School.
Yeah.
If I didn't get in the fire department, I wanted to be a school teacher. So now I get to do both.
Yeah.
And that's the way we are. We cherish our children and our kupuna. We help them as much as we can. Yeah. And I can even take it back, on how much empathy and kindness we have. Even when Hawaii was a warlike culture, every island had their own king. Are we still Hawaiians? So when the Big Island king invaded Maui, when he conquered Maui, he cried. He was happy that he won, but he also sad at the same time. Because he was concerned about all the lives lost on both sides.
Yeah.
That is kindness. That is empathy. Yeah. Where you even care for your enemy. Yeah. That's what we do.
It's deep.
Yeah.
Fulfillment.
Yeah.
For you, working with special needs children, serving your communities as a teacher, coach, firefighter. I think what people lack in society today is a sense of their own fulfillment. And I think when people don't have a sense of
community,
they lack something more that they're looking for.
Yeah.
And I think that leads to a lot of problems. And I think when you live a life of fulfillment, whatever that looks like, whether you're giving back to your neighbor, your community, fulfillment is super important. And I've come to learn this. I'm 46 years old. And I don't think I've realized this until maybe the last 5 or 8 years about how important it is for my own journey to be fulfilled. I can't be a good member of society. I can't be a good firefighter for my company, for my department, if I'm not good as a person. You need to be fulfilled and a good person to be able to contribute back to an organization or your community.
Yeah.
There's a lot to that.
There is. And that's called balance, right? Yeah. And awareness.
Yeah.
Ethics.
Yeah.
Morals. Culture.
I love it.
Yeah. When you raise that way, it's automatic. Now, I just gave you an example of Troy Polamalu. I've never met the guy.
Right.
But he has the same values as me. Why? Because we're Polynesian.
Family.
That's the way we raised. Yeah. We're going to battle on the field. And when the game is over, we're not combatants anymore. I care for you.
Yeah.
Because you put 100%. Yeah. And you made it hard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want it easy. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Because we're both trying to win. Yeah.
It's
We're both trying to be successful.
Yeah. I think about this, and I keep hearing the same message over and over, and I just want to take it, bottle it up, and take it with me, and then open that bottle and share it with everyone that I meet. I mean, it's just, I wish, and that's with the cameras and the conversation, if we can spread that message, if we can touch a few people.
Oh, yes, we can.
Understand.
Yeah.
I think that this is very much why we were sent here to do this. I believe it.
We need to spread the aloha spirit around the world.
Amen.
Yeah. Take care of each other.
Yeah.
Have empathy. Care for one another. Not only say it, but actually practice it. Yeah. I talked to one of the Red Cross workers, kind of higher up, one of the execs, also FEMA at the same time.
Right.
Because when I was working out there in Lahaina, I came out of retirement to manage a fuel refueling and a food pot out there at Napili Plaza. And he said, you would never see this in California. You'd see people, maybe somebody stab another person for a roll of toilet paper. Yeah. I said, oh, that's not what we do. We take care of each other. Yeah.
There was a call to action.
Yeah.
The community suffered.
Uh-huh.
It's time to act.
That's right.
It's time to pick one another up. Pick up my neighbor.
Exactly.
The call to duty for you, I know talking with the chief and now with yourself, I mean, a lot of retired brothers and sisters, they didn't think twice to get back out on that back out on that battlefield.
Yeah.
And the way that came together, and not just the community of Maui, but the islands. There were supplies being flown in, boats coming across, bringing supplies and anything that's needed. You said before, giving their last dollar to their neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
What a message.
That is.
What a message.
And I witnessed that, and that is so kind, to do something like that, give them your last dollar in your wallet because you need it more than me. Yeah. And we all got to think that way. Yeah. We all got to think that way. We got to get to it. Yeah. Practice it.
Yeah, and those days after the fire, where there's been a tremendous amount of stress on the people, a community in pain, in mourning for so many lost properties, generational properties lost. Remains of those, your ancestors that might have been buried on the properties there. Really understanding and peeling back all the layers of this. It is very different than what many know for their communities. It's the land, but the land is spiritual. The properties are spiritual. There's history and culture that is wrapped up in every single address within that community. And so when you peel all this back, for people looking from the outside in, they really have to get an understanding that this is much more than just a fire cleanup.
Yeah.
This is a massive operation that has to take into account every single piece of that puzzle,
including cultural history,
right?
Yeah, and cultural practices. It's hallowed ground.
Hallowed ground.
Yeah. So like a lot of people don't understand, and there's a lot of pushback when they're developing hotels in Hawaii.
Yes.
Yeah. If they come up on bones, whether the contractor would say anything or not, or just, hide it. Yeah. And some people don't understand that. So I turn around and I ask them, okay, so are your grandparents still alive? Oh no, they're buried. Where they buried? They died. They buried. So they buried in the cemetery out there by the church. Okay, so you want me to go up and dig their bones out of the ground?
Right.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yes.
Whether you passed last year or 500 years ago.
That's right.
That's still my family. We gotta be more aware of that. Yeah, and have empathy.
Yes.
Yeah, because it is disrespectful, no matter what religion you practice.
And this is why we need people like you and other cultural leaders that I've met to be sure to protect the legacy of your ancestors.
We have to.
You have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm holding this guitar here.
I was going to ask, right? Sure.
We didn't have any Wi-Fi out in Lahaina. And I have 3 younger brothers that I play in a band with. We call ourselves Hawaiian Time. The Romero brothers. I'm the oldest. We've been playing music professionally since we were in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Hawaii, we practice our culture by singing songs and dancing hula. And even the dudes dance hula over here. Yeah. Ask Amos to
I've
dance
seen
for
pictures.
it. Yeah. Yeah, so his father is actually a kumu hula, hula practitioner.
Yes.
And so is Amos. He's also a certified practitioner. And my brother called me. We didn't have any Wi-Fi, but I was in a certain area of Napili. I forget where. He called me and he got in. And I probably had like half a bar. He's like, brother, how you doing? I'm doing okay. But you're coming in and out. I can barely hear what you're saying. But I'm fine. I want to tell you I'm fine. Tell mom I'm okay. Yeah, because she was worried. And pray for us. God bless Lahaina, I told him. And he's like, that's a song. God bless Lahaina. So he just sent the words to me.
Yeah.
I'd like to share it with you. I have to read it because I don't know it by heart right now.
Okay.
But eventually I will. Yeah. So God bless Lahaina. We come to you, dear Lord, on our knees, for the people of Lahaina, hear our plea. Please comfort them, dear Lord, hold them close. Give them strength, Lord, and please give them hope. God bless Lahaina. Oh, God bless Lahaina. Shine your light of love, Lord, is their Lord. Bring them rest, Lord, and please soothe their souls. Wrap them with your arms of love, keep them safe. Lead them to a bright tomorrow with your grace. Oh God, bless Lahaina. Oh God, bless Lahaina. From the shores of Puamana to Wahikuli, Lord, please heal this land. O Kamalu, Olele, Olano, Ikaleo, Pelikani. Oh God, bless Lahaina. Oh God, bless Lahaina. Oh God, bless Lahaina. God bless Lahaina. Love you guys.
God bless you. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. It's part of our culture as well. Music, dance, making a lot of babies. It's part of our culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a culture that is so infectious. This has really been a life-changing experience for me. I brought my wife and children with me so that they can experience some of this because I felt it was going to be that important. And I'll tell you, man, that song was stunningly beautiful. It's incredible.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, my brother did a good job. I didn't have any time to work on it. I'm too busy.
Well, of course. I mean, too busy, but busy in helping your community. God bless Lahaina.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Last thoughts on all of this. Going forward, the community that you love, the island you love. What do you hope for your people, the culture, the town of Lahaina? What do you want to happen?
Well, culturally, I hope that Hawaiians continue to thrive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we are valid. We make a difference in this world. Yeah. I want Lahaina to continue its cultural traditions, even their plantation traditions. When we rebuild, yeah, and not rebuild better, keep the nostalgia present.
Yes.
Yeah. But also put together the safeguards to protect the community, to protect the businesses, because we do depend on tourism, visitors coming to our islands to help support our families.
Yeah.
Yeah. Build an outstanding community coming up, taking a lot of the old, some of the new, and providing excellence for Maui.
I love it.
Yeah.
Chief, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you
I
so
appreciate
very
it.
much for opening your doors, welcoming us to your beautiful home. Stunning views of such a godly, beautiful place.
If you can see that island right there across the way,
Yes.
that is the island of Lanai. That is where I'm born and raised. Yeah, Lanai. The population 3,000.
Is that
Yeah.
right?
Small. It's a small plantation town. At one time, in the late 70s, early 80s, it was the largest pineapple plantation in the world.
Is that right?
Lanai, yeah. It was a Doe company
Okay.
owned the island, and
Yeah.
now the guy from Oracle,
Oracle.
He owns the island now. He owns the island now. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful home.
Love it.
Yeah. It comes through you.
Hawaii no Kauai. Yeah. All the islands have their own beauty, value. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing some of that today with us. This has been a memorable experience for sure, emotional experience, and for you to be so wonderful to have us here, complete strangers, and welcome us in. We're not strangers anymore. I know how this works.
Hey,
and
you know the brotherhood of the fire department isn't that you're not a stranger.
I know that.
If you fought a fire in your life, you're my brother as well. Brother, firefighter brother. You know.
Yeah.
Our culture isn't that big. You know, our culture is strong, but our base isn't that big. So, if you're a firefighter, you're my brother as well. Yeah.
Well, thank you, brother.
Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, Chief, thank you
Appreciate
very much.
you.
Absolutely.
Brother Sebastian,
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you for doing this and your time today, and just sharing your love and passion, because it certainly shines through, brother. God bless Lahaina.
God bless Lahaina. Continue. It's going to be a long road.
Yes.
Yeah, to recovery, and please pray for Lahaina. God bless Lahaina.
Thank you.
Thank you.